Joe Garn, pulling together the Public Works Committee meeting for Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. I am present.
Jessica Blair, present.
Brandon Crone, absent. He's on vacation. June 11th, 2025 Public Works minutes.
I make a motion to approve them. Is it just you and I doing this right now? Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, thanks.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All
It's weird
opposed,
with
say
just two
nay.
people.
I didn't ask for discussion. Did
Oh.
you- Any discussion?
No,
on that?
I don't have a discussion on it. I read it. It was all correct.
Perfect. All right, it is public comment time. 2 minutes per person, 14 minutes per topic. I imagine we've got some public comment tonight. Whoever would like to go first, just head up to the podium, state your name and your address, and fire away.
Questions?
Sure.
May I?
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on the proposal plan to widen the streets in Alex Court. My name is Dorothy Willie at 449 Alex Court, Somerset, Wisconsin, 54025. The initiative is part of a broader effort to enhance safety, to improve traffic flow and accommodate future growth. However, as with any infrastructure project, there are several important factors that must be carefully weighed. Is that the proposal is approved? What is the cost to taxpayers? Two, my second question would be the hydrants. They are within the circle. Three would be pond proximity and safety. Meaning that it drops down in. So if we shorten that, vehicles going around will have the opportunity to speed faster because the streets are narrow. Is there going to be a fence going around the pond? Would that be in the proposal where it would be safety for the children not to fall in, for vehicles to tumble in? And sorry, I'm a little nervous and never did this before.
You're doing
and
fine.
then-
No
You're doing
yeah,
great.
You're pretty
And then
accurate. so.
You keep
other
going.
one
You're doing
would
good.
be, parking management. The city owns the streets, they would own the parking. That means everybody outside of Alex Court would be able to park there. Would Somerset have it as a meter? Would they patrol that? Would they regulate that by towing if they're sitting there too long? That's one thing. And then for the safety concerns, if the proposal was too high, where the city was like, no, because it's probably gonna be over 150,000 to 300,000 if all that work was done. My proposal for parking would be buy the land off of Pinecrest, that's on Harriman Street, make that into a public parking where other people could park. We could find the rental properties because they're the biggest regulators, they park on the street. They'll go after the homeowners, and that would be Gateway Homes, the owner of that would be Peter. And maybe paint the curbs or to have towing in place, signs or speed bumps for, in place for the kids. So those are a lot of the things that I would hope that when you're doing the proposal that you review thoroughly and make sure we're aware. But those are the questions, some of the questions that I couldn't address, but thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank Dave. Dave, run it into the podium.
Dave needs to be there. He needs to talk about his issue.
Dave Walder, 494 Drive, Wisconsin. So we had an incident at the ballpark last week. We put our ball program at a disadvantage. With the lack of city, I'm not sure where to put the blame. But with the dumpsters very full and they're having a large tournament, which both my wife, as I was a 15+ year coach in the girls softball and boys program, And, I mean, we like to see our fields used. As the city has gotten larger, and we have more participants, parking, as we all know, is a very difficult situation. So it's gotta be addressed, is how are you gonna take care of it in the future? And as far as it goes with cleanup there, as they said, after talking to the president, he claims that on Friday, when they got to the park in the morning, that all the dumpsters are full. So you put them at a disadvantage. They claim that they had hauled trash to the hockey arena and filled their dumpster. So to the neighbors there, the issue was we had high winds, not sealed bags, and trash had blown around quite a bit. They did make an effort to clean up. Debbie and I went down and we started to clean up. Being in construction and having numerous dumpsters and dealing with these kind of situations before. So I basically taped bags shut. I brought down the heavy construction bags, picked up trash, and refilled the dumpster and actually taped the bags together so they don't blow out. Then turn the dumpster around so it's downwind and the lid is pressured against the dumpster. One of the other comments, because the neighbors on the street who deal with the parking more difficultly on the tarred part of the road, some of them had contacted me. And that was the reason why Deb and I went down there, because they were very frustrated with the amount of trash. And there was a large amount of alcohol cans and packaging and stuff like that too. I got two neighbors one that texted me a very angry text, and one that had contacted me and given me a very angry discussion because it's a youth event. And the one neighbor who was in ball too, said that, I thought this is alcohol free. And had commented to me that, it was open drinking going on. I know it's hard for the associations when they run the tournaments to regulate their parents. But I think it's something to be addressed. If they get a picnic license or what, but, like I said, the other neighbor who had contacted me said, it's a youth event, there doesn't need to be it. But anyway, so come in the future, the dumpster down there right now is full. So, and they're coming into a weekend tournament.
And a concert on Friday.
Yeah, so, and, the cans, I don't know what the cans are. So, I mean, it's gotta be addressed. And to give them the opportunity to use our fields, which is great. But, I mean, we as a city have some responsibility. And who is leasing or using our field on the schedule, they have some responsibility. And I think that the line's gotta be clear, and who has what, and who is the contact for them when the office is closed, because we do close at noon on summer hours and over the weekend. So there's gotta be a contact person, take away to move trash. So if they generate a lot of trash, it can be taken care of. Being that I'm on the northeast corner of the park, when we get our northwest winds, which are predominant, I can tell you that I do pick up a lot of trash out of my yard and out of Debbie's yard, Debbie Kohler, and Nick went, can't think of his last name, down in the corner, he has a lot of trash in his yard too. And I did go through the neighbors on the other side of the street because it was a south wind blowing north, and I did clean up 2 large bags of trash out of the front and backyards. So, I mean, it's just, we know that's an issue with the parking. When the baseball team's down there, they park in the parking lot, the players, and when the girls and boys are in town, they take up the whole lot. Then we have 2 buses parking in there. And grandparents gotta park out on Spring Street and walk in. I mean, I complained about this 2-3 years ago, and I've talked to Troy, at the school, and it's commute ears. The players should be bused from the school, I don't care. And the buses should go back and park in the school lot, give them a call, they come over and pick up their kids. But something's gotta be addressed about it. because now we got the pickleball courts. And from talking to the pickleball players, we're gonna have additional parking down there when the courts are in use. So, I mean, I'm not against recreation, but, you know, you gotta think about the neighborhood and the neighbors. And like I said, when the Forrest family donated the fields, we were a small community and it fit our needs very well. Since we haven't developed any new fields since, it's an oversight by our village and it's gotta be taken care of. You know, I mean, if we, as a village, maybe go up and start to refurbish the fields up at St. Anne's, which the ball program put in place there how many years ago under Jerry LaVenture. You know, I mean, but nobody takes care of them. The grass is growing over the fields. You know, it's for T-ball, that's great, but let's give the ball program a better opportunity. So,
Thanks, Dave.
Thank
I'll
you.
connect with you for one-on-one.
appreciate
We'll
that.
address some of these.
Okay, thanks.
I was gonna
Thank you.
chat with you tomorrow. Too.
Brady Peterson, president, 1753 38th Street, president of SYBA. I came in last year as we had some issues with ISA and field time, and I just wanted to let this group know that I'm going back and kind of do a state of the state. I think last year there was some surprising amount of baseball being played that this group wasn't aware of. And I can say that our partnership with ISA has gone very successful this year. I know the direction was that we should figure it out with ISA directly, and I think we have. Sean Parnell from ISA, to his credit, has been very respectful in our field usage and continuing making sure that the association has usage of the field first. If we are available, he reached out to me directly or Cassie Johnson from SYSA. And if we have field availability, we certainly give it to him. I think they're doing their tryouts at Larry Forest coming up here pretty soon. So I just want to mention that first off, that our partnership with ISA from last fall has gone very well this year. I would not expect any issues going forward.
Great news.
Our association does continue to grow. We're up to 324 total players across 33 teams in 6 different leagues. 324 players is a significant undertaking for a handful of parent volunteers who we do not take a dime. We do the best we can to fundraise, and we create a lot of baseball experience. We are certainly not a perfect association. We have issues, but we try to address them as much as possible. We do continue to use the fields at St. Anne's. I actually will strongly disagree with the argument that we don't maintain the fields at St. Anne's. We actually drag them twice a week. We spray them for weeds in the beginning of the year. We spray them for the weeds at the end of the year. We actually spend about $8,000 a year taking care of the St. Anne's fields. They are not perfect, but they do a really nice job fielding our machine pitch and T-ball teams. From May 1st through the end of this weekend, we have kids there Monday through Thursday from 5 o'clock to 8:30 p.m. So we are pretty much maxed out on those fields as it is, and we absolutely maintain those fields, and we have a great partnership with St. Anne's on that front. We also do the same thing for Christ Lutheran. We put a significant amount of time into VP1 and VP2 and Larry Forest 1, 2, and 3. This spring, in order to promote more field flexibility so we don't have congestion, we put in 32 base anchors across all the fields in Somerset. The association paid for all that. We dug it all up. We replaced all the anchors that were already in the fields that were broken. The association puts a significant amount of time in ensuring that the fields are as good as possible. And, you know, we had our first significant traveling MVL tournament in town a couple weekends ago, which, you know, is exciting because our 10U team actually won the tournament, which was pretty exciting. 12U team did very well, but we had 16 teams from across the metro. Over 1,000 people were here visiting the weekend. If you would have gone into Rendezvous Friday night, you would have seen 4 baseball teams in there completely slam packed full of kids having a great time. I personally witnessed it. So there was a ton of people in town for this tournament. Everything went so well. I had 3 different parents on visiting teams reach out, and one of them wants to donate new metal signs. One of them wants to donate for our fields. They're really excited about our small community field. They loved our tournament. We sent an email with a survey attached to it, and all of it was extremely positive. We did have a problem with the trash at the very end. There's no argument there. On Friday night, their trash had become extremely full. To my fault, we didn't take it down. We left it the way it was, so it was overflowing, but it was maintained within the dumpster. Saturday night, I personally brought a trailer. We loaded about 50 bags of trash from Saturday. We brought them over to the hockey rink because they have a large dumpster there that we were able to utilize. We did the same thing on Sunday. I got a call about 6 o'clock Sunday night that some of the trash had fallen off from the winds. Me and my vice president, after the weekend, had showed up an hour later, went to pick it up. Thankfully, a community member was already there picking it up, so we appreciated that. But we take pride in the fields. We take a lot of pride in, we do not take for granted that this village lets us use these fields and that we're building a hell of a baseball program. So I just wanted to make sure that this board knew that we do a lot of work to maintain these fields as good as possible. And we have another tournament this weekend. We're gonna have 32 teams from Richmond, Baldwin, our machine pitch teams, our T-ball teams, our in-house rookie teams. 320 players are gonna be playing baseball all weekend long at Village Park 1, Village Park 2, Larry Forest 1, Larry Forest 2, Larry Forest 3. These things are significant effort, but if you came out to the fields and you saw the kids, you know why we do it. So I just wanna say thank you for your time. The association is very happy to be part of this community, and we really appreciate your coordination. I gotta run to a game. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go next. Sorry, I thought it was only 14 minutes, so I wasn't sure.
Dave took all the time.
Per
Profit.
Go ahead.
Thanks a lot for having us here. My name's Dan Squires. I live at 453 Alex Court. And talking about the widening of the circle at Alex Court. So I haven't actually seen plans. Dottie sounded like maybe you'd seen something maybe, but maybe you're making some assumptions. But anyways, we are supportive of widening. I think it's really in desperate need of widening. I think there are safety concerns and other issues that are at play there. I appreciate all of Dottie's mentionings of safety for the kids and all that stuff. Obviously, that stuff needs to be addressed if there is any widening, which hopefully you guys, that's on your radar. I think the best solution is to narrow the circle in the middle, is to take off as much as you can without having to spend $1 zillion regrading the whole thing. Personally, I think that's the best solution in order to widen the street. And obviously that's gonna involve moving the hydrants and all that stuff, but that's the way it goes. I would like to make a couple of mentions though, when it comes to the cost. And I know that, so cost is always an issue. And I appreciate that. But I wanna make a couple of points in regards to that. I know in general, these kind of things are assessed to the homeowners that are affected. And that's commonly accepted. No, that's not the case.
No.
Okay, all right, well, good. Then, if that's, so that proposal, I don't even need to address it because that's not on the table.
Correct.
No.
Okay,
You're correct. Keep
all
going.
right, great. Well, then my concerns were about the cost primarily. Otherwise, I'm totally in favor of widening it. I don't know, any way else to fix it, so. Let's do it.
Follow up?
Can you address, who does pay for it? Is it the taxpayers then?
Yes, it would come out of our.
It comes out of our budget.
Which means it's divided among all.
Right.
Yes, the whole
village.
town.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't, our property taxes or taxes wouldn't raise because of it, of the approval.
No, so, I mean, you're asking a very complicated question. We have all of the tax money comes in from everybody. And we as a board determine how it needs to be spent. Often in our community, because it's small and we never have a surplus of funds, we're often picking the projects that are on fire the most, if that makes sense.
Yes. So it's a decisioning on which one comes first.
Like we have several streets that need to be resurfaced, so we're looking at like which ones are in really bad shape. So it's,
But we don't assess the homeowners and charge more taxes to do that.
I'm aware of the assessment. You guys don't do the assessment anymore, but how is the cost? Like, does a city pay for that? Does
So-
the percentage go up?
So some of
Because-
these are identified, so this is just hypothetically $100,000 project, then we have another $100,000 project, and we have a $75,000 project. We'll combine that in a debt issuance over 30 years. So let's say it's $500,000, and we combine all those projects into one. That's over 30 years on a debt issuance. It's a lot quicker than that, because we're borrowing at 4%, so we have our financial people take a look at projects that are in queue and they let us know, well, you're gonna start dipping into negative cash balance, so maybe drop one of those or reconsider doing those other time. So we always do go back to our financial people and ask, here's what we have. Is it plausible to do all these, or should we scale them down? Sometimes you can actually do more, so we've identified more projects and infused them into the construction season. And we've also had to drop things where, let's just wait a year, it's not an urgency. So there's a variety of ways. So the question is, would your taxes go up on this project if we had no other ones? No, because it'd be.
But it'd be part of an increase of many projects.
Every year we do many projects.
Yeah.
All the time.
And, dollars and cents wise, we would, my memos to the committee would be, if there's an issue, let's be proactive about it, then reactive. Because normally in the reactive, it's gonna cost us a lot more money, and that's meaning there's, an accident that happened and we're liable because we understood there was an issue and didn't take any action on it. So those are things that we need to be aware of and conscious of, and really be careful of how we do that for, adjusting things. So-
And when you do create the proposal, you're going to do a proper one where you're looking at the fire hydrants on the locations, the depth of the pond and everything, including that. for
No, the
safety of
engineers know.
See this guy
Chuck,
right
you
here?
wanna speak?
We pay that company
Yeah.
huge amounts of money every year to do all of this.
I think when I called earlier, they weren't aware of where the hydrants were placed,
That
and
was
they're
me.
actually placed in the circle.
Yeah.
And so of where you would shorten the street or widen it, kind of thing, so.
Yeah, there's a bunch of it, there's several options, and what Bob and I haven't really gotten together and walked the site or done any of those
Okay.
things, to kind of, come
This
with a
is just
plan,
the
there's,
first step of all of
Yeah,
this. It's
yeah.
a lengthy process.
So
so we're aware of it.
I have just a few comments. You want me to go to the podium or am I fine with that?
Yes,
Just
please,
for
state your
public-
name.
That's fine. So
State your name. and
Michael
address.
Kraft, I live at 465 Alex Court. Basically everything they said is how I feel. I have a little extra to it. Where my house is located is where that stupid teardrop is on that circle. Looking into that to removing that completely would be ideal for me. If somebody parks on the street, my driveway is curved the other way. I have to back up into oncoming traffic, basically, if there's a car there. It's very annoying. Obviously, the snowplow removal people have an issue with that.
They've hit it.
The curb is completely destroyed in that corner from them hitting it. As well as they had mentioned about renters. The renters are the worst part. They have the 9,000 vehicles on the street where they're parking. I have caught 3 incidents where one daughter parked in my yard completely instead of parking in the street. Granted, she just got her license. Then she moved to my neighbors and did the exact same thing. So if you do walk the site ever, you will see stakes in her yard, so she can't drive there. As well as on Thanksgiving night, I had a truck from a renter, didn't even live there, it was like a renter's friend or boyfriend, literally blocked my driveway while my wife was pregnant. So a little more enforcement. I see cops patrol it like once every 3-4 months, maybe. Granted, that's just what I see. But every cop that I had come by did mention that for a fire truck to get through, if a truck like that was parked on the street, they would have to hop the curb to get by a big truck. They said widening it just a little bit probably wouldn't hurt it, right? I mean, just taking away that curb. I know there was proposals about even not parking on the inside. Ideally, I think that's where people should be parking, but how the road would work, that doesn't really work like that. So those are just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Do you wanna talk about the commercial vehicles too?
I mean, like what, like the dump truck? I mean, honestly, the dump truck doesn't bother me because it parks where the road is wide enough to get somebody parking on the street and get through. Doesn't really annoy me.
I don't know if we have.
I know that they do that for a living, so
We have laws against commercial vehicles being parked on village streets.
I don't think there is.
Is there, somebody's parking like they're,
Dump
they're
truck,
parked
box
on-
truck,
they're commercial
semi trucks on this,
Yes.
across from their street. But,
In a residential area, so it should be in a commercial.
but literally the only part of the street that has enough room to park is
Yes.
where they park all that, but, yeah, those are my 2 cents.
My street foreman has expressed, his frustrations with it as well, with plowing, and he said,
Sounds good.
it's a matter of time before we're hitting a car, so.
Yeah, and like you said, a safety issue, I don't know what that, really entails.
Destroying the curb, so I said, I got it, we only can run a 1 ton up there. We can't.
Because of
bring a
that?
full size
Yes,
pump
I've
truck.
noticed the small ones up there more than.
So I mean, what's the point of that teardrop to begin with?
So that area is a little,
To help flow traffic?
no, so that bulb is grass just because we have a limited supply of water storage up there. So normally cul-de-sacs are all, blacktopped. This one has some impervious and so it allows water to go in.
Yeah.
It's part of the storm system.
Oh, to help the water flow to that
So,
spot?
so it takes drain from the street, goes.
I mean, that makes sense if it was just a little smaller.
So,
Oh, but if the road was wider, I guess I wouldn't have that issue. It's just how my driveway is and how that is. It's very unfortunate.
How many cars do you typically see parking around the circle there?
So how people on, say, like Al's side or whatever, like Dan's side, our side, is the only spot where there is actually grass, where there isn't mailboxes. On the other side, it's all driveway and mailboxes, so you can't really park. I mean, half the grass that's there, you could barely fit a little car. So really, it's only our side that you deal with it, but if you had to say the renters, I mean, it's 5, 6 cars, probably.
All the time.
My one neighbor that's a renter from Gateway, they have an F-350 in the garage. Tahoe, 2 small cars, or no, 3 small cars, and they're all like, and then their boyfriends and stuff come over and they park in the street. So that one car has like 7 cars at one point all the
The
time.
one house.
And
has
half the
some.
time they don't even park in the driveway.
Yeah, it's just annoying. But
I just have one more thing. So if the proposal goes through, does the aesthetics for the property values, you will make that look pretty, correct? If you decided to put parking in that teardrop area that he stated, or if you are widening it, it's gonna look nice where it's not gonna put
No,
the
yeah.
property values down.
No, right.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
okay.
Last one, go ahead, sir.
And,
What was the
I agree with most of these guys, I mean.
What was your name one more time?
Al Bever, Bever, 429 Alex Court. And I agree that the public safety part of it is huge for me. I was actually on the public safety committee for the city of Lake Elmo for about 2 years. So stuff like this didn't happen ahead of time. But long story short, I can't even back my pontoon in my driveway. You got a fire hydrant right in front of me. My pontoon's too long. I gotta jump the curb with my truck to even back anything in my driveway. Because unless it's a real short trailer. And then the curb's so high. So you got the huge curbs on the inside, short curbs rest of the way around. I mean, if the small curb was there, I wouldn't complain as much. But I can't park it. If I come home from my cabin with a pontoon, I either gotta jump the curb, park in the middle, or try and figure out how to get it in my driveway. I can't bring my Bobcat home. I have a Bobcat, a trailer, 20-foot trailer. There's no way I could back that in there. Last time I brought it home, I parked in the center. Them are just huge things. And public safety for me, if there was somebody there and a fire truck got in there and the ambulance had to get in there, it's all about time. I learned this from being on them committees. It's all about how fast you can save somebody, how fast you get that fire out, don't start the neighbor's house. And right now, that's more of a concern than me parking, because if somebody's there, people are gonna get through there, and that's one of the big reasons I have there. And there's a lot of things you could maybe do. If you don't have a lot of money, take the curbs out. The fire hydrants are the biggest one. Like me, it's right by my driveway. I have to come in from the other way, and if I try and park, I'll hit my front fender, almost hit that. The other thing I'd like to see on the fire hydrants, and I know a lot of cities do it, they put flags on. Because it's higher than your truck, lower than your truck, and you're higher. When you start back, we can't see it. And I know they make these little flag deals, they put them up high, so people can see them, and they do it for snow plowing also, so they don't hit them. That's another thing you could probably add to those, just another little help there.
Thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. All right, closing public comment. Project updates.
to you, Chuck.
That be me. Good evening. So just later this year, we'll be doing our bridge inspection work on Main Street. So that was also authorized about a month ago. Do that work. Tomorrow we'll be opening bids for the mill and overlay and the micro surfacing project. So, you know, we'll get that into your packet for consideration on Tuesday.
Will the bids be on by Tuesday, you think? Or
Yeah,
just-
we'll open them
Thursday.
You're gonna open
tomorrow.
Thursday? Okay, thank you.
And so, yeah, the work of the TID 5 lift station continues, the sanitary and water main piping is scheduled to be completed.
I saw the stuff on the south side of the freeway right before the exit ramp. Is that part of that work?
Mhm.
Yeah. You get the sewer and water over to the other side of the highway there.
I assumed it was gonna go by the bridge, but guess not.
I
Well,
assume that too.
We did
Caleb,
too
so-
until we didn't find the casing pipes there.
Ah,
So, yeah, that was quite the to-do trying to find those pipes, even though we had record plant on it. So,
yay DOT.
yeah. And so the, you know, work continues up at the Pinevale subdivision and that, you know, that'll be, you know, looking at paving that mid-July. You know, we're looking at putting a hammerhead turnaround at that LaGrange, the end of LaGrange there. And move over there to propose, so. Then we're waiting for the developer's engineer to kind of, get us more information on the drainage plan up in River Hills more. Stay tuned for that as well. That's kind of the highlights. I don't know if there's any questions for me or comments or thoughts.
Specific. New business, discussion, possible recommendation, HUD Parnell four-way stop at Alex Court parking. What do we got, Bob?
You've got village park discussion before that.
Oh,
Yeah, we have that meeting on July 16th.
yes. There's to all of our concerned citizens, there's a public meeting in Village Park, July 16th at 6 p.m. to discuss the future of what we might do with it. Would love any and all input. And tell all your friends and neighbors to come on down and join the fun.
You be DJing it too.
I'll have a little PA, but no DJ, no music.
Refreshments?
For you to,
Lots of beer, Dave.
we don't need a vote on this.
I was gonna say, do I have to make a motion to approve
No.
this? We're just
Uh,
having that.
Yeah. Discussion possible recommendation, HUD Parnell four-way stop, Alex Court.
I know more about Alex Court than I know about HUD and Parnell four-way stop. The conversations I've had about HUD Street was there used to be a stop sign on Vanass and that disappeared throughout the years. That was there to slow traffic that was going from the north to the south.
So around the curve at the top.
No, so Vanass Street's a mid-block street on HUD, so where the baseball field is.
There's a hill right where that baseball field is, kind of blocks the view and cars go through.
So,
I was just there yesterday.
Stop sign,
pardon,
there's a missing stop sign.
on Vanass, not on HUD and Parnell.
Got it.
So there used to be a sign. I've talked to a couple people on HUD Street, they're not seen any issues with having Parnell and HUD be a four-way stop. They said, I think it works pretty good the way it is, and law enforcement hasn't had any calls of service there, so. That one, I don't know if we kick it back to public safety and see if they've gotten that, because I'm not quite sure where that one originated from.
Me, it
Oh.
came from Taryn, who lives in the house on the corner.
Okay,
She emailed me and said, the traffic lights are here all the time.
okay,
And with the hill there, it's hard to see if
Sure.
anyone's coming, and so
okay,
she brought it up with Mike Cappers years ago, and he just didn't do anything, so
Okay.
she brought it up to me,
Okay.
so. I brought it here. If other people don't see a problem and she's the only one, we can, I mean, I can go up there and knock on doors and
yeah,
ask other people.
Joel Truck Check, the chief, did go up there, and they said, well, we're not experiencing anything, and that was the resident closer to Benot Street. He
Okay,
said, well, cars are just flying down there. And he went down the street, and they said, no, we're not really noticing, but again, some of the people also have been in that home a lot,
yeah,
so.
okay,
Well, share that
You're
person's
on Hudson Street.
contact with chief.
Yeah, I'm on the second house in the corner on Hudson Street, the house that burned
The
down.
old Orphan House, yeah.
And there's hardly any traffic there, and there's already stop signs on, so it just seems, and it's, the HUD dead ends, 5 houses
I'm glad you're here,
down.
thank you.
So it seems, I was sort of puzzled to see why somebody would think it would need to be, there's just not very much traffic there. The most traffic we had was when people went up for the fireworks to go up on the hill there to watch. I mean, otherwise, it's like,
It's pretty quiet.
I was
It's
there
the
yesterday, I didn't see a
quietest.
single vehicle.
See,
I
that,
seen people running across the street and the stop signs going the other way,
yeah,
not that way, right? So up the hill, there was nobody.
yeah, it's a very quiet corner.
We'll start having drag races.
let's do that, I'm just kidding. I'll
So
have it,
I can talk with the chief, and maybe we can set a squad up there,
watch it.
periodically and to see if they're.
I know, look at she's,
I'll call you and tell you when there's a car on the street.
Okay.
I believe you, I had someone else contact me and said cars go too fast through there, so.
A couple things about stop signs is, not recommended to be used for traffic calming because it'll only slow the traffic from, a couple hundred feet each way. And, there's, some wasted gas and that sort of thing too, so if they're not needed.
Yes.
People will tend to ignore them and run through them, and there's a potential that creates a worse situation. I haven't been on there in the hill situation and everything else that was referenced tonight, so, I haven't looked at it with that critical eye, but, just from what I know of the neighborhood and the amount of traffic, it surprises me that.
I mean, even when there's a ball field, when there's, it's just not an issue.
I will let her know.
Don't you, honey?
We just-
I won't, I'll just say,
We
we
did
had to
put
talk
traffic
about it.
counts on Parnell, for a grant, and we had 14 cars a day average.
Oh my gosh.
Put it that way. We were all good on
Oh
the
my
grant.
One house generates 10 cars.
Well, when you leave, Chuck, go check it out. There's a box of Girl Scout cookies in it for you. Don't put it on our bill.
I'll let her know that we discussed it and that we are not doing anything at this time, and if she wants to come, she can make a comment.
Alex Court, and in my memo, we need to look at a lot of different, options and really decide on what the best solution is for that. So, what, the hydrants one typically, I know that was a concern, the hydrants one typically have to be removed, we can work around that. There's a lot of room in that bulb to, condense that without, making it look super weird or making traffic kind of confused. So that's just kind of gonna be a conversation, with my street guy and engineer, and we'll keep rolling, ideas. And we already have a few that Chuck and I have just talked about, our transportation people, everybody was off everybody seemed to be off the wrong time. I was gone for a week and then they're, so, we're playing catch up with a lot of things right now, so we should have a lot more information in August, so.
Were all of the neighbors represented on
No, I think this is
Pretty close.
about 50%.
I mean, we're missing Matt Noel and his neighbors,
If it was a survey, I think we got.
and then Dakota, and that's it.
I didn't tell,
Kim kind of said
Kim
her
messaged
2
me,
cents.
but I didn't tell any of the renters we were having this discussion.
Sure.
Who knows how long they'll live there, why would they come?
Yeah.
Other than to hear
Majority
the
are here, so.
bitch.
Is there rental property right on the circle?
It's in the circle, there's a bunch.
Two
We
on the
have,
circle.
we have three.
Well, that one's not in the circle though. I'm only talking about the people that live in the circle, not on Alex Court alone.
It's right here.
There,
There's three.
there's three.
You got the Ford
Yeah,
got and the one next to me.
One
that's
next to
I
me.
got one, two out next to her.
The 4-car garage one is
That's
now
what I'm saying,
rental,
the Ford car and the one next to me, that's it.
and the one next to her on the other side.
Yeah, the one with
The two.
Oh, the one in between you two is.
wire hair, not between us, we're
That's
right
the
next to each
neon.
other.
Oh, on the other side.
Yeah, there's three.
But they're
Oh,
not,
that one is the
they're
rental,
not,
that Tall blue one, that's like mine.
the guy with the gray Toyota.
Should I make a motion?
Yeah, okay.
Motion this
I
way,
didn't
we'll
know that.
discuss it again.
Yeah, I've never seen those, so I can
Just
just,
give us direction.
but
Yeah, that works.
see how much I pay attention over there.
Okay, that's my first time. I will make a motion on Alex Court for a proposal to come back on
That's a rental.
August meeting.
I second.
And that one.
Aye.
Sorry,
Okay. All in favor?
used to just voting. Any further discussion?
No.
And then them three.
All's in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. More to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Discussion possible recommendation, new pots to be installed in commemoration of the old bridge. My citizen Bob Treeloft and I believe her name is Margie, who comes to all of our
Yes.
village board meetings, have verbally stated that they are willing to pay for putting together some sort of post and placard holder thing that would show a picture of the old bridge and give some historical synopsis of it.
Oh,
And I am not 100% sure on where Bob wants this. I believe it's near his house. Because that's where the old bridge went. So when you're coming down Spring and you make the curve, Spring used to go straight across the river right there, according to Bob. So he called me and asked to have this put on the agenda so that the village board could vote on whether or not they can do this. I'm going to recommend that we table until we can get further details on exactly where this would go, what it would look like, so forth.
I'll second. You have to do the farm.
Yeah,
One thing that's, we talked about this a little bit. I think it's a great thing to capture our history. But if we start organically just placing stuff all over town, I don't know how that's gonna look.
right.
To be, you know,
It needs to.
I don't know where he's gonna put it over there. That's number one. I mean,
It's right over there, right?
And I'm not sure where he wants it,
right,
so we need to define all of those things.
right. Cause he was bringing up something else at the village board meeting and he was kind of upset about it. and I don't-
It was something down where the old mill was, or the old, in the river, on the new bridge down there. He wanted some history on that one.
And that is part of our master planning. We were on that walk, we were to have a 1/10 of a mile station with some history behind it. Like, if you look up here, it's the old covenant or whatever for the church. And if you over here is the old mill, over here is the old bridge, over here's the dam, just kind of a little history. So, you know, summer school kids can go down there with their teacher and go, oh, okay, here's a little history or just whatever.
Yep,
So,
All right, so we have a motion and a second, right? to
Yes.
table?
yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Discussion possible recommendation deeding of parcel 181-1024-90-200 to neighboring property owners.
so this is on Sunrise Drive, the backyards are in Larry Forest, basically parking lot. So, the one trail coming off of Sunrise is adjacent to the property on the left, if you're looking at the map like that.
Okay.
So the green and the red, that's actually an outlet that's owned by the village. That was deeded by Tom Forrest, who also donated the park. I've gone through files and files trying to figure out why this was deeded, and the only thing that I can come close is that it was access to the park. But we already have access to the park, and we can't find any reason that the village would keep this. Bruce Birch is the one that he reached out, he was, I've been cutting the grass on that
Oh,
outlot.
that.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Hmm.
And I didn't even know we had this outlot. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's when I started looking into it. And then Bruce is a little frustrated because he's come to the board, I think two different boards, and they really didn't do anything about it. He still continues to mow it and
Homes.com's comprehensive.
doesn't. He's talked to the neighbor to the north, and I said, what do you want it to look like? And he said, just split it right down the middle. So I just did a quick exhibit, so there was a visualization, but
Total width is what, 20
it's
feet?
not much. And if we did anything there, we would really it would be really destructive to the neighbors, like if we put a road in
Oh,
or a
yeah.
trail or something, it would just.
You don't have any water main or anything in it?
No.
Nothing, so.
Parking,
Put parking there?
Parking, dumpsters.
Dumpsters right there.
joking.
You guys, that's awful.
And the other thing is, if we did consider that as an access point, we have a drainage ditch behind there, so then we would have to address that. There's all kinds of reasons.
Where's the baseball field? Over here?
It's over, yeah.
Up here?
Yep. So this is actually the parking lot,
Oh, okay.
and then Forest Drive is where your thumb is.
This is where
This
everybody
is summer.
parks currently?
Yep.
So when I come around from the schools and all those cars are lined up and the railroad
Yep.
bridge is over here?
Exactly.
Got it. Yeah. I'll make a motion to recommend that this goes to the full village board for consideration.
I second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion passes.
Do you know what what you need administratively to make that happen, if they go forward with it, like a legal description or anything?
CSL.
CSM, yeah, okay.
Check with Kurt. Get the board goes. All right. Let's just swap.
Item 6D, discussion, parking and refuse issues observed at Larry Forest. Dave elaborated.
I'll start with the garbage issue. There was a little bit of miscommunication. So the dumpster that's up there is the village's dumpster. So all week we go and pick trash. That gets full all week. It's full on Friday. And on Monday, Olson comes and dumps it.
Hmm.
The ball fields, there was just a miscommunication. So they now know that they need to bring in their own 2-yard dumpster to assure that thing is not full. And we have taken that dumpster in the past years and have dumped it or called Olson's on a Friday afternoon and said, hey, can you do an extra run and dump this thing? And we then have in our tournament bylaws that you need to supply your own refuse container. So Brady's aware of that now. So that'll be taken care of. Does that address that issue, Dave?
It's something's gotta address it, yeah.
Is there a way to get Olson to pick it up Friday at the end of the day?
They could,
Instead of
but then
Monday?
it's full and then we don't have anywhere to put trash.
That's true, that's right, okay, that makes
So,
sense, yeah, I get your method to your madness.
Yeah, we've actually picked that dumpster up, brought it down to the shop, swapped our dumpster and brought it back up there, and it's
Because it
just,
is full right now.
it's just nasty,
Shoot, okay,
It's only Wednesday.
right?
So And we don't wanna do 2 dumps a week, cause cost.
Cost,
Well, so these are people coming in from outside the community, so the ball field to generate money out of these tournaments, so as part of their expense, we're just saying, so the taxpayers paying for this? Because there isn't really a public benefit other than the baseball association, and that's what we also need to be aware of, like, who's that dumpster benefiting? So it's only benefiting the ball fields, and they're not arguing with that one bit, they're like, yeah, sure. And I think Racy gives a nice discount, you know, they're always been really good about keeping the cost down, so it's not hurting them. It's minimal.
I mean, it would just be 2 pickups in the summertime even, we wouldn't have to think
Well,
about it in the winter, but I
And
know
I'm
what you're
trying to
saying.
think of just the path of least resistance.
Nobody wants to see
If
garbage
we
during a baseball game.
would it be easy enough to charge back the association for the extra dump during the summer, or is?
No. I mean, it's just a lot easier if there it is, you're responsible for your own dumpster. And that would have saved, because Brady said, that would have saved me money, because I was running all over the place trying to find spots for my trash. So it's like, yeah, perfect, fine, it's, yeah, you're right, it's in there.
They got a place to bring it and set it, their own
It just
unit?
goes right next to ours.
Okay.
And we said, if there's room left over in ours, use ours, that's fine.
Yep.
But we just can't guarantee. Olson's, they sometimes can't, because they're wherever
Right,
constantly, so.
I know it's hard, even at my plant, to get 2 pickups a week, I had to beat up my.
Yeah. So then
Communication
that's just
company.
creating, you know, an extra workload for Amy or somebody to invoice, and if we're not getting paid, then
What do we have there? 5 yard?
it's just a 2-yard.
Oh.
It seems to work well enough for us, and if it's full, we do throw it in the back of the truck and bring it out of the shop, so. But typically, Dave,
So one other problem we have is we're getting other people bringing their trash to the dumpster.
Yep.
So I mean, I politely say, what are we doing in the park? You know, so, and at night they come and put stuff in there too. You know, so that, I mean, that's the other problem.
Right,
so we try hiding it behind that shed as best we can, so that, you know,
But they know where it is.
the public free for all isn't
Yeah,
there.
dumpster jumpers there.
Otherwise, we need to, you know,
it
lock it up.
happens at my business all the time, people
Right.
just, I'll show up at work and a couch is sticking up out of the dumpster.
I've dropped 40-yard dumpsters of projects, come back Monday morning going full. You know, but yeah, that's, whatever we can do to alleviate it. The parking is the big issue, cause one of my neighbors, he does, high line work, power line. And he's got his truck home every night, and he lets people park in his driveway. But when he gets emergency calls to go out, he goes, I can't even get out, and I go over there, nobody, you know, I got an emergency call. Nobody knows who they are, nobody fesses up or moves their cars. So he ends up driving through his yard to get out whenever he can. But like he says, if I hit one of their cars by being nice, letting them park tight to my driveway or in my driveway, because they're gonna sue me. You know, and that's, you know, and he's texted me numerous times and asked me to intervene.
He should not let anybody park in his driveway.
Well, I know. And then the other thing is, you know, as you let non-city people on park property operate machinery and maintain fields, I get it that, you know, sometimes they have Bell come down and he rolls the fields. But again, I think once they damaged our sprinklers out there, sprinkler system, you know, but what liability do we take when we get people that are bringing machinery, power machinery into our public park? And if they get injured,
We don't have any liability,
you sure?
100%.
So if they bring their mowers and,
No different than if a guy went ripping through there on his motorcycle at 200 miles an hour and hit a tree.
yeah,
We don't have control over the guy on his
Right.
motorcycle.
but I still think we should look at, you know, I mean, I'm happy that they maintain stuff. You know, St. Anne's doesn't look like it did when Jerry LaVenture was up there. It's, you know, it's grown over quite a bit, but, you know, that's a conversation that if somebody's operating power machinery on it, a good lawyer is gonna come after you for something.
They can try,
if a kid gets hurt, you know,
yeah, where city parks have ironclad insurance over those issues. We'd have to be shown as
Gross negligence.
completely negligent. Like I handed the guy the mower and said, run over that kid. Right.
but like I said, it's between then, you know, what they're doing, the resources we give them, the procedures, protocols we have in place for the end of the events. You know, I mean, 15 years ago, we had to pick the parks up. That was part of Betsy's, you know, when she managed it from up here, that was the deal. You guys clean it up, we're not cleaning it up.
Yep.
You know, so we always had a cleanup crew. And I did mention that to Brady, you know, is that, you know, hey, I mean, where's your cleanup crew? Cause you guys left the park. My wife is complaining to me, we've been camping all weekend in La Crosse in a tent in 90 and 100-degree weather, watching the NASCAR races, you know, and, you know, we're just as tired as they were. You know, when I got home, I had to cut my grass, that's by our deal, you know.
Got it. What, is there anything we can address via parking?
You know, that was the first tournament that they've done, so I mean, it was experimental. There's an annual in-house tournament that brings a lot of people and it's congested up there. You know, this one, there was things that we've identified that can be improved, and I think that's what happens when you have an initial fall tournament with that many people. They either need to scale it down a little bit. It didn't help that there was a concert that Friday and signs were up that says no parking. Village Park was the same way. It was, well, where do we park? I was receiving phone calls. And I said, well, I should figure out that there's a ball tournament going on, so touch base with, they touched base with law enforcement. I said, no, we get it. We know what's going on. And we don't think that someone's parking in Sunrise Drive to go to the concert. So it's, you know, so there wasn't any issues there. But when they have a varsity baseball, varsity softball, and then a youth, I've been up there, it's, you know, I'm parking on Oak Street walking, which I go to other communities and it's like, wow, I'm gonna have to park. And I bet you I walked a mile, just because there's parking lot was full. So it's not that much difference, and we do have the on-street accommodation for people to park. I don't know what else we can do. That park simply doesn't have the available parking for those great big.
So this next concert, are we gonna put no parking up there, or are we gonna leave the no parking down?
I don't know.
Because I mean, like you said, no one's parking up there and walking to that concert
And
probably.
I need to talk to public safety about that.
Okay, so that would be a start, is to not, to
Yeah.
allow parking on the street up there.
Yeah, and that was the other problem, public safety wasn't realizing, and Joel and I missed each other constantly throughout that week, so he really didn't understand that, oh, there's a ball tournament on. Yeah, it was, you know, organized in February, so.
It's all gone. Public safety's not meeting before this weekend, are they?
No.
No, I just dropped them. So.
Perfect. All right, no motion needed. Public Works Department reports.
Just outside of what I had in my memo to you, you all should have received an email from me today,
I saw that, I was gonna bring it up.
so.
Should we call a special meeting for that, Caleb?
We should,
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing that needs to be a village board discussion.
Well, but it has to be a joint one with the town, I think.
Right,
So the discussion between the town supervisors and me was this about, I'm gonna let my board know, because obviously, I'm not sweeping anything under the rug here, people need to know. And I'm gonna leave it in their hands. If Ryan chooses to call a special meeting, and I said, hopefully Doug and Ryan connect here and have a conversation and figure out what the next steps are. If it's just, we're not having a meeting and he directs me to go do whatever, that's fine, but
Okay,
So you don't need anything from Public Works other than recommend the
no,
village board.
yeah, it's
No.
really, yeah, no. So that was the intent of it, was to just make sure that notification went out as soon as possible.
They have their joint meeting on the 23rd.
Right,
Yep.
yeah, I think it probably needs to be addressed before the 23rd.
Yeah, I'll reach out to
so.
Ryan.
I was gonna send Ryan an
I'm
email
hoping
too.
to hear from Ryan.
If we all just send him an email, say what our thoughts are, but yeah, I think that is important and requires a special meeting for that.
All right, no standouts.
Pickleball court's done.
Woo-hoo.
Get ready for the complaints on that.
Yep. There's always a plan on
Complaints
something.
on pickleball courts?
We will.
For what? Thought they were, oh, the noise.
He said no lights.
What community shut one down?
Oh, a lot of them have, but I know one in Apple Valley, they shut down.
Pickleball, it's 2025, we can't invent quiet
They have
pickleball
invented,
paddles?
they have
They got-
invented quiet,
People just haven't bought them yet.
yeah.
Well, it's not it's a ball hitting the paddle, it's a ball hitting the ground. You know, it's,
I find it quite pleasing.
if you live by 6 of them, I think that's a problem. If you live by 6 of them.
Alright, fair enough.
I do love the game though, I'm an old man.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to play sitting down.
And then, yeah, we have, the fence guy is gonna be out, Larry Forrest and, Village Park on Friday. To go address some of those fencing issues that we're having for, the fence, Village Park is, I don't know, 100 years old. And the one at Larry Forrest is now almost 25 years old.
Can't be that old, that wire chain link with all the trees that have engulfed the fence. I'll give you 50 years, not 100. Jeez, that's exaggerated.
So
So is it just fence repairs? Pardon? Just fence repairs?
I've asked to put extensions on the 2 smaller fields. Just because when there's 3 games going on, you're dodging balls constantly and it's been that way for a long time. It's never a problem. You're not up there. But once you're up there, it's like, what's coming at me now? So.
Yeah.
I was gonna get your UTI hard hat and put it on the other night.
Could have had it. Retired.
Bills. Jessica, you agree with the bills?
yeah, I make a motion to approve them.
Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. We have adopted the bills. Future agenda items. Chuck, you gonna make it on the 16th? No. Good talk.
I could if you wanted me to, but I thought we talked about not needing me there.
I'm pulling you like, no worries.
My son turns 21 though, but he ain't gonna hang out with me.
No. Good luck on that. Amy, anything we need to consider or address for future agenda?
I don't think so, just what was tabled.
I probably will add, ash tree removal. Since all our ash trees are gonna die.
I was gonna say, they must have a disease.
Right away, and we've already had a fair amount of calls. But we're gonna have to budget.
What do we use for the tree removal? Do we do estimates for that?
Yeah, that was my thought, was to
Bid 'em?
grab 3 companies.
Oh, okay.
What's your cost? We've got, the trees aren't gonna fall down anytime soon, but I wanna get ahead of the game. before we do have ones coming down on cars or people.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. We are adjourned.